Good morning. I am Stampin' Dee Dee, and this is From Stash to Card Day. And that's what we're going to do. Only today we're really focusing more on ink and dies. So let's get with it. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to use one of the new, I believe it's an online exclusive, Sweet Words and Labels. And we're going to use the dies in this set to create a frame. So I'm working with my computer to get up to see what you can see. All right. Yes, Sweet Words and Labels. So today we're just going to use the dies from this set. You get it out. Now the stamps, as you can see, well, it's easier to see from here. Stamp out the label and then you can cut it. And it's got some wonderful, very different sentiments. The oh bother, isn't that cute? And old friends are the best friends. I will use that one. You deserve a little treat. That'd be great to put on something that you're going to send to somebody. Sometimes when you go looking for happiness, happiness finds you. Isn't that true? I will love you until forever and even after that. Great sentiment. And the best kind of days are the days spent together. So some great sentiments. But today we are going to use the dies. Look at all these wonderful frame dies. And I have to tell you, that's really why I bought this set. Because I really use frame dies a lot. And that's what we're going to use today. It's also, I think it's interesting that it also has acorns. So we're going to use the acorns. We're actually going to create a card that has a fall look. I'm going to move this over here. Has a fall look. But you know, fall is going to be here before we know it. This is the card we're going to create today. Using the leaves and the acorns. And we're just going to do the large acorns. But they're also small acorns. All right. But the focus of this video today is this background. This background. That's what we're focusing on. So let's get on over here. I'll set, there's no need to put it there. So we're going to use white, basic white cardstock to create this background. And I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper under it because we're going to be using different colors of ink. And as you could see on these samples, I used different colors every time. And I was playing around, and these looked like such fall colors that I thought, well, I'll just use the acorns out of this set, this Sweet Words and Labels set, and let it look like fall. So we're going to use Early Espresso. Actually, we're not going to use that in the background. We're going to use Pecan Pie, Peach Pie, Timid Tiger, Garden Green, and then we're going to use just a little bit of Basic Black. All right. And to do this, I'm going to get my pieces over here. I don't want to lose any of my little pieces. Alright, I'm going to use blending brushes, and I'm going to start with Garden Green. So I need my green blending brush. I think that's it. No. There it is. My green blending brush. I'm going to open up my Garden Green. Put it on. I have this that came with my glass mat. And it's wonderful to hold the ink pad when you're trying to do something like with a blending brush. So I'm going to put it in there. Set these over here right now. And I'm going to move this over just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with the, I think you can see it now. I moved it over a little bit. Let me make sure. All right. I'm going to move it a little more. Move this over now. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of green up here, I think. You know, it doesn't matter where you put it. I'm still going to move it over a little bit. Maybe if I put this up here, you can see it. All right. Put a little bit of green right there. And I want it to be a good, solid color. Got it. And then I'm going to do a little bit of green down here. Okay. I've had a little bit of a problem this week. I was diagnosed with vertigo. My husband didn't want me to do the video this morning, but I'm sitting still, so I'm fine. But that is not a fun thing to have. I've never had it before. And probably some of you have had it before. Seems like everybody I talk to has had it. So, all right, we've got the green. I think that's all I'm going to do. And I'll do the, Timid Tiger next. Put my green, my garden green away. And get out my orange brush and do my Timid Tiger. You know, I bought some new paper. What new paper was it? It was one of the new Designer Series paper, Beautiful Ordinary Life. And one of the first papers I pulled out of it was very much like what I'm doing. It just had all the pretty colors. And I looked at the different colors and I thought, my goodness, they used so many different colors. But I love that look. And there's so many ways you can use it. So I actually got that after I did the samples for this video. So, all right, and then I'm going to do some more of this right down here. I think I'll do it this way. With my blending brushes, I go in circles, at least initially, so that it doesn't streak. Sometimes if I want the edges to be really dark, I'll do it on the edge of the blending brush. Okay, got that orange. Because I'm going to use the peach pie in a minute. And I'm going to use the same brush, so I'm going to clean it real good. But for right now, I'm going to use pecan pie. Pecan pie. So I need my brown, and it is right here, my brown brush. And I'm going to fill in here. This pecan pie isn't as dark as you would think it is. Now, if I had used early espresso, it would be very dark. And I'm going to blend these together. Okay. All right. I think I've got that about as dark as I want it. And then I'm going to use a little more right in the middle. You know, it doesn't, this is such an easy thing to do using blending brushes and ink. So easy. Because you can use almost any color. It's amazing how well they all come out once you do it. Okay, and then I'm going to finish with peach pie. Peach pie doesn't open the way I normally open them. So I'll get my orange back out. I was afraid that Timid Tiger and Peach Pie would be too close, but they're really not. They're different. You'll see that when I finish this part. See how different they are? So I'm really blending them together. Because I don't particularly want the white in between them to show. And then I've got this part down here. It really does give it a fall look, doesn't it? I didn't start out that way. I was just trying to get some different colors from what I had used. But I thought, well, fall is not that far away. I'm sorry. Hobby Lobby has already got fall stuff out. So I'm okay doing that. All right. I think we've got it. I think we've got it all blended together. Now what I'm going to do is take my black and just give it a little bit of a black accent. Just a little bit. Maybe right there. Just a little. Rough it up a little bit. All right. Now, this is the part that is going to really make it special. Let me put because let me show you. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the sparkle, the shine on this card? Maybe that way. See if you can see it on this one. The shine. I don't know if you can on the camera, but there's a shine to each one of these. I don't know. But anyway, you have to take me at my word. There's a shine. So we're going to put that shine on with clear embossing powder. So I'm going to take my clear embossing powder and I'm going to run it over this whole thing. And you have to kind of make sure you get it on all of it. I'm just rubbing it over the whole thing. I kind of have to get down and look sideways because you can see where the ink is. Okay. I think I've just about got it. Let me get down sideways and look at this side. I think I've got it. Okay. Put my embossing, my Versamark ink away. It's Versamark ink, which you use for embossing because it dries really slowly. And then I'm going to get my clear embossing powder, and I'm going to get my tweezers, and I'm going to cover this with clear embossing powder. I'm going to knock the powder off. And then turn it over to the other half. And cover it with clear embossing powder. This is really easy to do. It doesn't take a scientist or an artist or anybody else to do this. Knock it off. And I think it's all covered, except for I've got my embossing, my tweezers, but it'll be enough. All right, and then we're going to get our heat tool. And here we go. And I don't know if you can see it or not. There it goes. And you can see it do its thing. It is there's a shine. You want to make sure you get the edges. That's it. Can you see the shine? I get the middle right there. You know, I might ought to come back and get, I do need to get under my tweezers. Yeah. Just that much. And where the tweezers are over here. All right. That is it for our background. I think I need that edge a little bit. You can see where you still need to get it, because it won't be as shiny as the rest of it. Now, get my heat gun off. There we go. All right. So we have our background ready. We're going to let it sit over here for just a minute. I don't need this anymore. The next thing we're going to do is cut our frame. So we're going to use pecan pie for our base. This is our card base. Whoops. This is our card base. And we're going to cut our frame out of pecan pie as well. So I'm going to use the largest die, and I want to leave a little space, so then I'll use the third one down. Not the next one, but the next one. Here we go. Because I think that's going to leave us enough space for a frame. There we go. That will. So I'm going to position this. Let me get my bottom plate, because it's better to position it on the plate. And I'm going to use my Post-it tape to tape it down. I think that's just about right. There we go. Oops. Well, let me do it over here. Now, real quickly, I'm going to put this through the die cut machine. I didn't want to move it, so I'm just going to put it through. Okay, we put it through. Take our tape off. frame has already fallen out. Take our tape off. Now we're left with some other pieces that will work just beautifully on another card. Let me put these back over here. Get them positioned later. Because you could use this on another card to create a frame of sorts. You could use this piece on the center of a card or on the inside. But this is what we want. This is what we were going for. This piece is ready. So we're going to glue it down on the front of our card. And you want to get it good along the edge because it did curl a little bit. And then down the middle. And this is going to go right on the front. So you've also got an edge around this. Now, one of the things that I use my very large acrylic block for is to keep a solid pressure on a large piece like this that I've glued. And it will keep pressure all the way around. And I just hold it on there for a minute. Until that glue has had time to set. Especially on a die cut, an embossed piece like this. Looks like we're down. I'm going to get my foam folder and get this down, emboss this, or get that edge secured a little bit. All right, got a little piece of something on there. Now we're ready for our frame. So again, I'm going to use the Tombow glue to make sure it gets down. When you're gluing something to an embossed piece, you need to make sure you glue it down well because it's got that shiny surface now. Let me get this just right. And again, I'm going to get my block and get it down. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to shake this off with any little pieces of embossing powder that might have gotten left over. In fact, I'll just turn it over. Now I'm going to put this back on here. And I think we've got it. So these pieces, this is the large topper for the acorn. This is the large nut underneath. And then you also have a small topper and a small nut. But I used the large topper and the large nut. And then I used these leaves. But in order to save some time, I've cut them out already, which most of us know how to die cut things. So I went ahead and cut these out. I used Early Espresso for the topper and pecan pie for the bottom part, the nut. And then Garden Green for the leaves. I have another there. So I'm going to try to use, if I can get the ink to come out, which I've had trouble lately. I'm going to use my small tipped. And I'm going to use a pin to push through there. And I'm going to glue, and turn this, pull that over there, turn this around, and I'm going to glue my topper. I want to make sure I have the right side. It looks like it doesn't matter really with this topper. So I'm just going to put some ink there, right along there, and put it over the nut, like so. Now it looks like an acorn, doesn't it? Push that over there. Whoops. I need to get it off the paper to let it dry. Well, there we go. I'll put it right here on the glass to let it dry. I think I'm going to put it right here on the ink. I mean, on the block, so the ink doesn't stick to it. And that one is crooked. There we go. Even though probably in real life they're crooked sometimes. Got my ink on it. Put it right on the nut and move it over so it'll dry. And I'm going to use all 4 of these. Make sure I've got it right. I do. Put ink on this. Put it right on the nut. So now my fingers have ink on them, of course. And the last one, put ink on it. Put the topper on. Like so. And move it over. Give those just a minute to dry. Get our frame back out. We're going to position 2 of the leaves at the bottom. One at the top. And one on our sentiment. So we could go ahead and do our sentiment, but I'm going to use the mini dimensionals for the leaves. So get a couple of mini dimensionals on each one. sticking my finger right there. And we got the paper off the top, but not the mini dimensional. Yeah. One there and there. We'll put this one right here. Then we're going to put a mini dimensional on the back of the acorn. And this one, we're just going to put the mini dimensional at the bottom, because the top is going to sit right on top of that leaf, and rather have a dimensional, it's going to be glued to the leaf. We just need a little bit of glue. Not very much. And we'll let that sit right there. And this one is going to have glue at the top. And a mini dimensional at the bottom. Probably would have been a good idea to put the dimensional on first and the glue last. There we are. And this one is just going to have the mini dimensional at the bottom. I'm not even sure it needs glue. Oh, I didn't get that leaf put on. All right. A mini dimensional at the bottom. Make sure it doesn't show. And a mini dimensional at the top. And it's going to go right there. And then this is going to go, make sure I get the, it's just going to go right here. All right, and we have one more to put on with our sentiment, but we're going to hold off for a minute. It's already looking great, isn't it? All right, our sentiment. As you know, I'm making a bunch of happy birthdays for our life group. So I'm going to use this die and the happy birthday that I've been using, which is going to just be perfect for this. And I'm going to do it, I'm going to stamp it in Early Espresso. And I'm going to stamp it right here. Oh, make sure I got the Y's. See, you have to be careful. Let me get my mat. That's the key. I looked around for it and it wasn't out, so I thought, I can do it. Get the ink on the Y's. There. And now we're going to put this on. Let me run it through real quick. Use a piece of Post-it tape to make sure I get it right. All right. Post-it tape off. Here's our happy birthday. I like those two label dies. All right, I'm going to put this away. I don't put my hand in it. Get this. We're going to put that right in the middle with a dimensional. We need a regular dimensional for this. All right. Here we go. We want this to be right in the middle. Let me see. All right. And now we're ready to put our last leaf. We're going to put this leaf going right up here. Or maybe this way a little bit. And so I'm going to put a mini on the end of it. So now I got the little topping piece stuck under it, which isn't a good thing. And put a little glue right here. We're going to have this going right up here. And our acorn is going to be right under it. And I think all I need is glue. Right under it. There we go. All right. We have finished our card front. Now, if you wanted to put a ribbon on here, maybe right on here, some linen thread or something, you could do that. I have already cut out the inside piece. I decided to use the crumb cake for the inside. And I used the largest one of the dies from this set. So we're just going to glue it in. Well, now it doesn't want to glue. There we go. Get it glued in, and we'll have our card finished. There you go. Now we have our card. Our happy birthday with acorns, leaves, and a background that is shiny. I wish you could see it. Maybe if I turn this light on, you can see it. Let me see. Can you see that now? How shiny it is? Let me see. Well, anyway, whoever you give it to will clearly be able to see the shine and the sparkle, and they'll just love it. They'll just love it. So, we've got this one. We've got this one. And we've got this one. This flower is from Irresistible Blooms, using our stash. This one is from a newer set. Oh, I never can remember what the name of it is. Petals of Beauty. It's a two-step stamping, Petals of Beauty. So, lots of ways that you can use what you have already, or the new products, and create something beautiful. So, let's see. I stamped a flower in this one, and I put a sentiment in this one. So, I hope that will inspire you to give this technique a try. It is so easy. So easy. Use your ink, use your colors, do something different with your card base. You can either, this is from Citrus Blooms, I think. This is from Irresistible Blooms. You can use anything. That's why I showed you. You could use a frame, or you could use some of your larger die cuts that cut out an area and create a card with this. I hope you've enjoyed it. God bless you. Have a great week. See you in 2 weeks.